every year, our technology is at least getting 2x better. I went to Jensen Huang's conference yesterday, the talk. He said that I see future because the chips, NVIDIA's chip, Moore's law says that, the
number of transistors doubled.
Doubles, yeah. So the chips are doubling every year.
Yeah.
Their performance are doubling every year. So if you think that maybe if AI is going to get better 2x every year, maybe it's going to be like 30x better in the next 5-6 years.
Correct.
So my question here will be, do you think it's going to get as better that software engineering jobs can also be taken by AI comfortably? Because there have been dev in AI which said that it's going to take probably 14% of tech jobs, and if it gets 2x better every single year, I do see that software engineer's career possibly ending if these are the numbers we see from these CEOs and the predictions. What do you think about it?
Well, I mean, your word is correct in a sense of the only thing that is constant in technology is change. That's for real. And the key thing about it is you will find that if you look, and I give this example to my student, if you look at the library, we used to have the card, to get this, and we have some people who are responsible for that. The library is still there. Now we have the internet to look at it. We have it's still they have to hire people to run that. The old traditional programming and ways and means of developing software are going to change, with the AI. That's a giving for looking at the future, because some of those programming languages are going to die. Some are going to have a new programming languages, and those are going to be used specifically for the AI. This is the third rail. We talk about it, about the algorithms. You're going to find a lot of them. So one of the things I tell my student when I give them any assignment, any programming assignment as a homework, I tell them, okay, the assignment is saying use C++, for example. I told them, if you can give me the same output using any programming languages, as long as you give me the source code or the link to the GitHub and picture of or screenshot of the outcome of what you did, I will accept it. Because the key thing is every problem has multiple solutions. And some of them are short, some of them are long, but you're going to reach the same thing. The example also I give it to my student, if you get invited to a house, you can come from different ways, but you're going to end up in the same house. And that's the same thing for it to say. If you work at a company, they're going to ask you to solve this problem. It's good to have 2 or 3 ways of solving it, not just one. And if you are that person who has only one way of doing it, one programming language and one way of thinking, you're going to lose your job soon, because you have to be flexible, and you have to, if you hear any term, and I get really irritated when I ask my student, okay, how many of you heard this term before? Oh, we never heard about it. I tell them, this is the wrong answer. When I ask you that question, I want you to hold your phone and start looking for it. And I look for that term and say, oh, it means something like this one. Because if you are working at a company and somebody is throwing those kind of technical terms or talking about all these kind of things, if you are really used to this, you're going to look at it and say, okay, now you know what he used. Instead of asking a question, which is an obvious question, and everybody look at you as if you are kidnapping one of their kids, so you're going to say, what is this, So this kind of being, curious about things and hungry for knowledge and always have this, your radar is up all the time, it's the key of success. I heard about a new term. I'll give you an example. When I was giving this lecture about what is the future of AI, what kind of trend that you can see in the AI. Sovereign AI, casual AI, object-driven AI, collective AI. So I throw those terms to everybody, and I say, this is what I see. Sovereign AI, which is not my word, it's actually coming from the CEO of NVIDIA, which is you own the whole cycle. You have the data, you have the engineers, and you have the hardware, so you don't need anybody from outside. A casual AI is, it's easy for me to give you the tool, and you can just deal with it without any complication about you have to say the question a certain way, you have to put it in a very complicated way. Now, I see this one complicated in some of the tools that used by companies, where if I want to create an image, I have to use certain prompts so I can create the image. What if I just tell them what I want in natural language and they understand it? Object-driven is very specific AI, which is for media is this, for this is this, for this is this. collective AI. Collective AI, which is we use it, whether we know about it or not, you're going to find some people, if they have an article to write, if they have an answer about something, they check Gemini, they check, Cloud, they check ChatGPT, check multiple agents, and then they get the best out of them. That's called collective AI, where you can get the answer from multiple agents, and now you have that answer which doesn't belong to one of them. That will be one of the trends you're going to see. They're going to be that layer where I don't have to do that myself. Somebody else will do it to me. I ask the question, they're going to go and pick it up, mix it, and give it to me as an answer.
I totally agree with it, because I went to, Jensen Huang also said that if there are two people, they are trained with their knowledge, and you ask questions to their models, the output is completely different. You have to get into perspective of every model,
Correct.
Just like you talk to different people for their perspectives. Correct. And now talking about learning, you said that we have to be flexible in terms of choosing a major in order to be in this tech industry. So how do you continue to learn? You have seen all eras of learning, blockchain from IoT to blockchain to cybersecurity to even AI. So how do you continuously learn and evolve?
Well, knowledge never age. Knowledge never age. Knowledge is actually born every single minute. So what happened is, if you're really excited about the knowledge and you keep asking yourself, what's next, then you're going to find yourself really questioning all the terms, questioning, so what's going to be the next about it, being curious about things, and being excited about finding about them and having that satisfying answer. That will be something will keep you going. If you think it's homework, it's something that you have to do, you're going to do the minimum, and then you're going to go back and say, okay, I've done this one. That's not going to happen. You find that you can see this one in many people. So people are going to go to the extra mile, people are going to go the 10 extra mile, and people are just going to give you what do you want, and say, this is what I want, this is what you want, take it. And that's the difference between somebody who is looking at, learning something new every day. And we are at the heart of Silicon Valley, and there is something new every day. And either I hear it when I go to, the coffee shop, or if I am listening to the radio, or if I'm talking to a friend, or I have some of my students will come visit me, and they're talking about a new trend is going on. So the minute I hear about something that I never heard about it before, now that's going to be the spark will start a research. Now, one of the things that I do all the time, if this topic, I feel that this topic is really interesting, I will spend 2 or 3 days writing an article, and then I publish it on LinkedIn, and then you're going to see what happened after that. That's what happened. And I'll give you another perspective of the story. On April 17th, I received a letter from the White House, and I'll be more than happy to share that with you guys. That letter is an answer to a long letter I sent it to the White House asking them what are you going to do about AI. And I told them, it's not just one line. Actually, I specifically talked about the concerns. I told the White House, this is what you did. You did the executive order, you did this one, but that's not enough, because we worried about this, jobs, we worried about skills, we worried about this and this and this. And the letter from the president, basically from the White House, was really nice letter specifying everything. They even give me a link to a project they're working on. They say, this is a blueprint of what we are trying to achieve, which it takes me to the point, why you want to write a letter to the White House asking them about AI? Because there is no way for us to make sure that the AI is not harmful. The AI will help everybody unless the 3 factors in making sure that the AI is going the right way, they get together. The companies, the government, and the consumer rights agencies. Because the companies, they cannot self-police themselves. You're asking them to make less money when you ask them to have some rules on ethics. The government, they are slow, and so they don't understand many of the technology. And the consumer rights, they're going to look at it and say, we'd like to protect the consumer's right and privacy and safety.